Hey everybody, Bonehead from the Bonehead podcast, and we've been a bit delayed, and it's mostly my fault. We had a couple of awesome tournaments. The downside of awesome tournaments is they take a ton of work, and also I tend to get ill as soon as we have tournaments. So I'm afraid I've been in bed for the most of like the last week and a half, and or haven't really been able to speak. So we are a little bit behind with releasing the rule pack for Beachhead Bowl. Now, there's two things that we wanted to wait for before we release the rule set for this tournament. Now, this is our next tournament, or tournament pairing, I guess. It's coming up on Saturday the 11th of February for 11s and Sunday the 12th of February for 7s. We're doing it in pairs again. So Saturday is an 11s tournament, 3 rounds. Sunday is a 7s tournament, 4 rounds. It's back at the BIC, which is the Bournemouth International Centre in Bournemouth. We intend to be there the whole weekend. We're going to stay in the hotel like we tried to last time, and we're just going to hopefully organise some dinners for people as well, just to kind of like all go down to the pub together on the Saturday night. To be confirmed on that one. But what is not waiting to be confirmed is that we've got 2 tournaments coming up. Now, the rules pack has been done, but like I said, there was 2 things we were waiting for, and one of them, we were waiting for the World Cup rules. We were waiting to see what the World Cup, the Blood Bowl World Cup that's coming up in Alicante in September, we were waiting to see what the rule set was going to be like for that, because we genuinely talked a lot about, actually, why don't we make it mirror the World Cup? We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Now, I'm not going to talk about thoughts on the World Cup format here, because we're probably going to talk about it in the podcast next week. And that's fine. What we're not going to do is we're not going to stray into that. We're going to stick with essentially a format very similar to our last few tournaments. So we're looking at 1100 TV, 3 tiers as per the rulebook, and a smallish skill package. Now, the reason for that is the bigger the teams, the bigger the skills, the longer the games, the more kind of complicated the games. Now, we like our tournaments to represent your league after 5-6 games, right? We feel like it's the best way to play Blood Bowl from a competitive point of view. You can do a lot of stuff, and with our skills package, you will be able to mirror a lot of what's going on when it comes to your World Cup stuff. So if you're going to the World Cup, actually, you'll still be able to take, I think, basically mostly the same builds. You might just be down a reroll or down a spare lineman or something. So it's not the end of the world in that regard, I don't think. What it does do is it means you're not playing bigger games, and we've got a large population of tournament goers that are newish to Blood Bowl, or actually want to come along and for the fun aspect. And actually, we want to make sure that if you're just coming into Blood Bowl, if you've just started out, if you only play every few months, or maybe the only way to play Blood Bowl is to come to one of our tournaments, that actually you can go and it's not going to be a complete brain melt. Competitive Blood Bowl is stressful, and we find that keeping it at 1100 with a few skills makes it more accessible, a bit quicker, and a bit more fun. And that is exactly where we want to be. So when you look at the rules pack, which we'll look at in a second, we're looking at staying 1100 with a similar skills package to South Coast Autumn last year. And the second thing that we were waiting on, well, if you came to the first Beachhead Bowl, it's set in Albion, which is a Warhammer fantasy battle setting. And a big part of the Albion campaign were Fenbeasts. And our buddy Brute Fun has sculpted us a awesome Fenbeast big guy model. And we wanted to wait for this model to be ready before we publish the rules, because 150k star player is the Fenbeast. So that's what we've been waiting for. And then I got a bit ill, and then we're behind schedule by, I don't know, like 10 days or something. However, let's have a look at the rulebook and the Fenbeast. Okay, so on the Bonehead podcast website, we've got this big header here that says Beachhead 2023. At the top of the page, you've got a little tab, which is, yeah, you can just about see it on the video. Right here, Beachhead 2023. If you click that, or you click this, 67 days to go, it will take you through to the Beachhead page where our rules are. Now, we're not selling the tickets from our site on this one because it is a massive tournament and games convention event. I guess I probably should have mentioned that. Beachhead is this big event run by our friends at Entoyment, and you get a bunch of traders. There's a whole hall or two for tournaments, so there's going to be like, 80 to 100 Blood Bowlers playing, and there's going to be 100 and something mad 40k lads playing. It is an awesome environment, and we've learnt from last time. We've got better timings. Pete spent extra effort with the BIC staff to make sure that there's going to be BIC staff there, so that the bar's going to be manned. You can get food and drink and stuff all day long, and we've spaced our timings out a little bit more so that you've got plenty of time to queue up and get a couple of beers in between rounds, which is exactly the kind of thing we want. If you bring in your kids, you need to be able to go and make sure they stretch their legs, they go get food. If you're coming, we need to make sure that you've got time to stretch your legs and go get food. Really important. We've adjusted our timings for that. Anyway, on the page you can click buy your ticket, and it will take you through to the Entoyment website. Now there's a 2-day ticket for £45, and I think there's individual day tickets for Saturday or Sunday at, I think, £25 if you can only make it to one. And that's something that's really important to us. I'll just close that. There we go. If you can only come Saturday, you come Saturday, you play 11s, wonderful. If you can only come Sunday, play 4 games of 7s, wonderful. If you can come both days, cheaper ticket, 2 different tournaments, and we'll be combining the points for kind of overall prize winners as well. So if you come, you win the Saturday, you win the Sunday, you're probably going to win the whole weekend. So we kind of bundle this together because we understand that life is really busy. And as we move forward, life is also really expensive. So we want to make it as accessible as possible, and that's just kind of how we do things. That's how we want to do things. We want to make sure that if you can only come on the Saturday because you've got family commitments or flipping work, or you can only afford to come one day, you can still come one day, come and see us, come play Blood Bowl with us, and that's what we want. I personally have spent the last, 10 years of my life going to games conventions and stuff. Up until recently, I worked every other weekend. Tiff still works every other weekend, so my availability is every other weekend, or, and maybe I can't spend my whole weekend doing a thing. Well, we kind of try to make it as accessible as possible. Anyway, the tickets for the event are on the Entoyment website. It's a big convention as well, and the tickets would also get you into the convention with all the trader halls and stuff. And that's what I mean. We've spaced out the rounds a bit more, given a longer lunch, so you can go and have a look at the other games and the shops, which is a bit dangerous. Anyway, that's all going on. We were also running 2 Blood Bowl events. Saturday is 3 rounds, 11s, and Sunday is 4 rounds with 7s. Like I said, we've tweaked the rules pack a little bit. So we've got all the rules pack available on the webpage here, and you've got roster builders here as well. I've updated them. They've got the new star players from the Almanac in there. All the Amazon stuff is on there. The skill sets are on there, and the Fenbeast is on there as well. So it's ready to go. Get your rosters in by the 28th of January. That gives us 2 weeks to check through it. We are, I think we're limited to 80 players for this one, and we had 70 something sign up for South Coast. So I'm expecting, well, I'm not expecting, I don't expect anything. I'm hoping that we'll have a big old turnout for this one as well. So we're going to be planning to be checking a lot of rosters. Anyway, let's have a look at the rosters and the rules pack here. So Beachhead Bowl, let's do a zoom, shall we? Let's undo the zoom a little bit, shimmy this, and we'll shimmy it to there. There we go. I think that's probably the best way to show it off. I'll put the link obviously in the video, and it's all available on the Bonehead Podcast website. Now when it comes to the actual day, we'll have all the standings and all the scores and everything on there, just the same as we did for South Coast and for Bonehead Bowl. We're kind of in a bit of a, I think, a good routine when it comes to the tournaments at the moment, and oh man, we've got some great events coming next year, and this is the first one of them. So Beachhead Bowl is Saturday the 11th, Beachhead 7s is Sunday the 12th. You know what they are about now. So tournament schedules, we'll skip ahead to, we'll come back to the tournament schedules. We'll skip ahead to the star player. Okay, so on the island of Albion, which is basically England in Warhammer Fantasy Realm, they have these big, gnarly swamp trolls called Fenbeasts. They're kind of like half between elementals and trolls. They're made up of the earth and the fens. It's a Fenbeast. A fen is a type of swamp. That's what it's all about. and we're bringing them back. They were a massive hit at the first Beachhead. In fact, the winning list had one. It was Wayne with Chaos Renegades and a Fenbeast, a 4 big guy roster, and it was absolutely delicious. We've brought them back, same stats as before, literally, because passing stat, I guess. So same stats, same price. It was awesome fun. We saw a ton of great Fenbeasts, and dude, it's a big guy, and it's so thematic. This is the city of, this is the land of Albion. It's all about swamps. It's all about giants. It's just awesome. Absolutely love it. So, tournament star player, a Fenbeast. 2 things. 1, the Fenbeast can play for any team, and 2, it is the only star player that is actually available to be taken on Sunday 7s. So on the 7th Sunday. So actually, actually, because it's a star player, it doesn't count as a positional either. So those snotling teams that you've got low team value, you squeeze 150k in for a Fenbeast, absolutely cooking. I like that. But 150k, movement 4, strength 6, edge 5+, passing nothing, armor 10+, loner 4+, really stupid, foul appearance, mighty blow +1, and regeneration. It's a big, dumb earth monster, and Brute Fun has done an excellent job sculpting it for us. So I'm not going to show this off super well right now because well, spoiler alert, it's Monster Monday next Monday, Monday the 12th, and this is when the Monster Monday video drops for our Fenbeast model. But I love it. It captures just everything about the Fenbeast. You've got the rocks, you've got the magical Ogham stone, you've got creepy face, very much like this one. You've got the big old club, and you've got helmets and face masks and stuff just coming out of it. And I love it so much. So I've got a week to paint this one up ready for the video. And then we're going to be selling them on our website as 3D prints because they're gorgeous models, and a really big fan of that. But we're not shipping them out till next week or anything because I'm behind on my orders because of the aforementioned plague, I'm afraid. So this week is going to be sending out all the outstanding orders so that from next week we're good to go, and we've got our Fenbeast. So you don't have to use our Fenbeast at all. If you've got a cool model you want to use instead of a Fenbeast, go for it. Like, that is just absolutely what Blood Bowl's about. That's what we're about. We love crazy models and stuff like that. But I wanted a Fenbeast model. Brute Fun hooked us up, and actually we thought other people might also want a Fenbeast model. So it's there if you want it. If you want to convert your own, absolutely go nuts. Still very messed up actually. Anyway, that's the Fenbeast, 150k. He's basically a strength 6 troll with foul appearance instead of the troll stuff. So he's dumb muscle. He may not be great, but he's thematic as heck, and he gives a big bit of muscle, and he pays for any team. He will take up a star player slot, and that's fine because he's 150k and he's strength 6 and he's an absolute beast. This is exactly how he was in the first Beachhead Bowl, and it was great. We saw, I don't know, how many people did we have? I think we had 40 something for the first Beachhead Bowl, and we had maybe 15 Fenbeasts. So it was kind of like a big guy thing. The original Beachhead, thank you Siri. The original Beachhead, we have weather rules. We're not going to do that. We're going to keep it simple. This is the kind of, the spice for this one is our star player, the Fenbeast. So the 11's event, like I said, 3 rounds. First match is at 10, then the next match is at 1, and then the next match is at 3:30. Sign up is at 9:30, getting ready for that first match, and then the awards at 6. So you'll be done by 6:30, and then on the Saturday night, I'm not sure what we can get with Pete. Whether we can stay there longer and play some Death Bowl or something, or whether we will go out for dinner. We will figure that out, and he's jump in the Discord and start planning with you guys because we're there for the weekend. I've taken the Friday off work, going down Friday. We're going to set up and just play Blood Bowl all weekend. I'm super excited for it. Right, you guys probably just care about the roster building. Tournament scoring slightly different. What we've seen in the last few events is that the scoring can get a bit tight if there's sort of 70 plus players, which is what we've had the last few times. So we've increased the cap on TD and casualty bonus points per round, and perfect defense has gone up to 3 points. So if you win by 5-0, you're gonna absolutely crush it with scores. So there's going to be a little bit more of the points available for you. 6 more points. So it's gone from what, 37 max to 43 max. So we could see some tasty 120 pointers. That would be pretty impressive. That'd be the biggest points we've ever had. Right, like I said, 1100 build, so 1.1 million gold pieces. This is full-on resurrection. Standard tournament rules apply. We've got Fenbeast is an additional star player, does take up star player rules. We've got Giants. All the spikes are available. All the star players are available. That was another massive thing when we thought about using the World Cup rules, is actually the star players from Spike, from the new Spike. I want to see Estelle Loveno on the pitch. I want to see Glottal Stop. I want to see Scrapper back. I want to see Ripper back. That's really important. And yeah, I think that's just more exciting to see. So, skills, Tier 1, 5 primary, Tier 2, 4 primary, 2 secondary, and Tier 3, 5 primary and 2 secondary. So, Tier 3 teams get an extra skill, Tier 2 gets an extra skill, and 2 of them are secondaries. So, Tier 2 is kind of the place to be for this format. And I'm really happy with that. We saw a brilliant spread over our last few events with a very similar skill package. And that's what we want. We want people to be able to take the team that they want to take, or plan a special roster for an event and get them to try a team or run a team they wouldn't normally take. And because that Tier 2 gives you 6 skills, Tier 2 and Tier 1's 5 skills instead of 6, you can basically take most World Cup builds. You'll be down, like I said, an extra lineman or an extra reroll or something like that. So if you want to practice for the World Cup, you can basically fit it in there without messing up the tiering or introducing the you can have a star but only on the second Tuesday of the month without taking blue skills on a red day. None of that nonsense. 5 primary for Tier 1, 4 primary, 2 secondary for Tier 2, and 5 primary and 2 secondaries for Tier 3. So Tier 3, kind of where you want to be. Tier 2, though, that's the fun place. No player can have more than 1 skill. A primary skill can be taken instead of a secondary, as star players cannot be given skills. Team tiers, as written. We aren't in a position where we want to start mucking around with that, because, like I said, we get a lot of our coaches are like, hey, I would like to play Blood Bowl, please. Here's my rulebook. This says I'm tier this. Okay, let's run it. And what we've not seen it be horrifically bad. We've seen a really good split, and we find that the rules, that the extra skills kind of give enough source that it works nicely. So that is the 11s build. 7s, I think we've juiced it up a little bit more. Same kind of timeline as the first day. 9:30 registration. First match at 10. Second match at 11:15. Then lunch break. Then 1 o'clock is match. Oh, I've done it again. It's actually match 3, not match 2 again. Fool of a toque. Anyway, match 4 is at 2:15 and then awards at 3:30. So if you come in on the Sunday, we'll be done by 4. You can be home by 5, 6, 7, no matter how far you've travelled. And again, that's something that's also really important for us. We could fit in a 5th game of 7s, but getting home to your family is quite important. And 4 games, 7, is plenty. We've got some good builds here, so there's plenty you can do. And unusually for 7s, you can take this star player, which I think we're going to see some great ones out there. So build for this one, standard 600 points, basically the same as normal with the same tweaks we've made to the 11th one. Skills for 7s, 600k, 2 primary for Tier 1, 2 primary and a double for Tier 2, and 2 primaries and 2 doubles for Tier 3. So again, Tier 2 and 3 are incentivized. Tier 1 teams tend to be pretty good in 7s anyway, and there's that extra tweak of, can you save 150k to fit a Fenbeast in to take that extra positional, that extra big guy? Should be really entertaining. Again, team tiers, we're leaving them as standard Blood Bowl tiers. As we move on with the year, we might flex that out to use Stevie 126's 7s tiering. But again, we want it to make it as easy as possible for people to jump in and play. So we're kind of keeping it as sensible or as calm as possible. So it's not like a super crunchy roster buildy session. It's quite straightforward. It's quite accessible, but you will be able to squeak out your competitive advantage by brewing up some doozies on this one. And the addition of I think the addition of this guy being a cheap star with strength 6 is going to be pretty fun, and I'm super excited to see them on the pitch. Now we've got the fact you can take a giant in there as well, if you can fit the giant, not for 7s, one day, but for 11s. Now we've already submitted the rules to the NAF, so hopefully they'll approve it eventually. But yeah, we've got 67 days to go. Now, it's a tournament, and it's going to be great fun, and we're going to make a weekend of it. And I guess the last thing to mention is we've got some serious prize support for this one from all the various companies that we're working with. And what you'll see as we go through December into January is the more people that sign up for tickets, the more prizes we're going to be able to add. And not only from a prizes point of view, but from a loot point of view. So you'll probably see this just at the beginning of January. We'll be like, right, we've got 40 people signed up. That means everyone gets this loot and we've got these prizes. Next would be 60 people and we'll add this to everybody. It's just a way to kind of reward everyone for coming to our events. It's really challenging to get the balance right. We always appreciate feedback. But ultimately, we just want to host a really good couple of days of Blood Bowl, and we loved the last few events, so we're doing it again, and we're doing it in style. Anyway, guys, get your tickets, get your rosters in. I know that a few of you have been haranguing us like, where's the pack, where's the pack. But we've already sold like 20 something tickets already, so I cannot wait to see the rosters you brew up, especially with 11 new star players kicking around, which is pretty sweet. If Games Workshop drop another team, then obviously we'll let the team in until roster cutoff point. So if a team is released on Saturday the 28th of January and you get your roster in Saturday the 28th of January, then it's fine. But otherwise, if it comes out after that, you'll have to miss it, which is a shame. But chances of that happening are pretty slim. Anyway, I'm going to disappear. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the channel even further, please like and subscribe. It really does help us out. Or come join us on YouTube members or in Patreon, where you can get exclusive access to some content, some loot, early access to basically everything we do, as well as regular competitions. Or you can pick up some Bonehead Podcast loot either on our website at boneheadpodcast.com. We've got the Dungeon Bowl things, we've got tokens and stuff like that, or on our Spreadshirt site as well. Everything you do just helps us make more content and hopefully do it of better quality. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Happy blocking.